Hi Sue, Carol with Cooper Vision. I have a 12 o'clock with Dr. Cole.
Oh, hi Carol. Hold on one moment.
Sure.
Dr. Cole? Yes, Carol's here to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's been
So-
a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, well, you know, same old, trying to get through some things. We're doing a couple things different, as you know, we kind of changed up our logo a little bit and whatnot. How are the kids?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
still in baseball?
Still in baseball, a little soccer.
Yeah, good. Are you
Yeah.
still coaching? You know, last time you were coaching a little bit.
You know, not anymore. They kind of surpassed my skills. So.
Well, no comment. I won't go there. So, hey, I really want to sit and talk with you for a few minutes, and again, I appreciate your time. I know we're kind of on the clock. So, wanted to talk to you about kind of where you're going with your practice and how you're going to grow your practice in 2012. You know, we're a quarter in already. You know, with the first 3 months of the year gone. What do you want to do with your practice in 2012 in regards to increasing your patient base? And if so, you know, how do you expect to do that? So, if I may, you know, I'd like to just find out a little bit about that.
Well, you know, Carol, I mean, I appreciate you asking. No one else seems to, none of the competition comes in and asks me that question. But I guess my goal, you know, year over year is just, especially over the last couple of years, just kind of keep my head above water and kind of do better than I did last year would be a huge accomplishment for me. Yeah.
Well, your numbers are up, and I'll get to those in a bit, but your numbers are definitely up. And I thank you very much for continuing to fit Cooper Vision. Keeping your head above water was kind of one of the things you just said. What are you doing are you trying to bring in, you know, specific like vision therapy patients? Are you trying to bring in just new patients? Are you just trying to maintain your old patients?
You know, a little of everything. You know, as my practice gets older, I'm starting to see more presbyopes, and
Okay.
you know, certainly it'd be nice to attract more of them.
Okay.
But in general, just grow my practice is trying to bring in families. So if I can get into presbyopes, then I hopefully can get in their kids too.
Perfect. And you know, I don't know if you get the web blurbs from Vision Monday. Vision Monday had something on a couple weeks ago that there were 717 million pairs of over-the-counter readers sold in 2011.
Wow.
Big box stores. So we want to get those patients coming into your practice. As far
Well,
as
you know,
I'm
I
concerned.
mean, they've got so much money to spend on advertising, getting their name out there. I mean, how
Right.
can a little guy like me
Well,
compete against something like that?
And that's a good question. Let me ask you, what are you trying to do? Do you have anything in place right now that, you know, I know advertising obviously is always expensive, but are you doing like trunk shows? Are you doing any kind of recall surveys? I mean, are you doing anything like that?
We have a standard recall program that we've been doing forever, postcard program. And
Okay, so not automated yet?
no, we haven't
Okay.
done any automation.
Are you looking at anything?
You know, we've thought about it, but you know, it's, you know, we've kind of cut back on staff and with things being a little bit tight, so yeah, I just haven't had the time to really, and quite candidly, I don't really know where to turn.
Okay.
And
Fair.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You know, there's an awful lot of blurb out there. I'm sure you see it all the time about, you know, social media, new websites, and online reputation and things like that. Are you doing any? Do you have a website?
yeah, we have a website. We don't really do much with it,
Okay.
unfortunately, and you know, I know that some practices I've seen in some of the information, trade magazines are starting to talk about Facebook, and you know, I don't do any of that. Some of my kids are into it, but we really haven't.
So no practice Facebook page that you know of? Okay. So you have a website, no Facebook. Have you ever looked on Google or see where you go when someone tries to find you? Have you ever tried that yourself, Googled yourself?
No, but I bet that'd be interesting.
It is. I actually Googled you for eye doctor. And eye doctor in Sacramento, you come up about page 10, which is unfortunately not a good thing. You want to come up on page 1 or 2 at the max. Sacramento's big, so you know maybe 2 would not be a horrible thing, but you really want to try and come up higher. When you put in contact lenses, you come up pretty high. You come up on the first page, so that made me happy. So that was good. You know, if someone's looking specifically for contact lenses in Sacramento, you come up pretty high. I also Yelped you. You know what Yelp is, right?
I've heard of it, but never.
It's an online reputation, kind of people will go there to do reviews. I have a friend who's a Yelper, and they call themselves Yelpers, and it's a little bit crazy, kind of crazy people, but you know what, the bottom line, people who Yelp all the time, and what it is, it's just a way for people to find services and products and goods that their friends can recommend. There's a video that normally I like to show all about social media and online reputation. I just don't have the time today to do that with you, or you don't have the time, I should say. And one of the things that it says in there is that one of the statistics is that the world of the internet, as you know, has changed everything. And products and services no longer are something you have to go searching for, it actually finds you now. Have you ever been on your own personal email and maybe you're just searching around for email and all of a sudden you see like a car ad or a tire ad or something like that?
Right.
And hadn't you just been searching for cars maybe within the last 6 months?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Funky how that happens, huh?
Well,
Yeah, they know what you're looking for nowadays.
And now that you mentioned Yelp, even though I've never been on Yelp,
Right.
I know just recently I was looking for a restaurant.
Right.
And
There was a Yelp review.
There was a Yelp review, and I didn't think too much about. I read it, but I didn't think too much about how I got there. So.
Right. Somebody who's a Yelper went out there and did a review. And the thing about Yelp, which is kind of interesting, just to kind of give you a side note, and we'll talk about all this, but Yelp doesn't have to be put together by the owner of the practice or the business. Yelp is put on Yelp by whoever wants to make a review of that, so it can be good and bad. You have actually 2 Yelp reviews. They're both good, so that's good to know. But it's managing you versus you managing it. And so this is kind of what I'm here to talk to you about.
Because it's starting to get a little bit scary.
It is a little bit
because
scary.
It's not something I can really control. Right?
Yeah. Well, yes, you can, and that's the whole point. And you can't control everything. I mean, when it comes to the internet, no, you can't control everything because it just happens so much and it changes so quickly. But you can manage a lot of it, and that's really what I'm here to talk to you about today. Is you mentioned that you want to grow your practice and want to maintain your current base. Want to talk a little bit about presbyopia, of course, big hot button for CooperVision with our Biofinity multifocal, which I know you've got in the practice a few times.
That's great.
Thank you. So what we've done is CooperVision has actually come up with a new program, and it's called CV+.
Okay.
And what CV+ is all about is we want to differentiate ourselves from the other guys. We've got a new look, as you know, we've got the new logo, you've seen some of the new packaging. CV and J&J, they're fighting it out at the top. I mean, frankly, let them have the big box stores and fight for that consumer. We're not going to stop selling there. Don't misunderstand. We still sell to Walmart and Costco because that's big. It's big business for all of us. But we're not consumer advertised. That's their gig. Let them go after the consumer and advertise to the consumer. You're my patient. You're my consumer. So what CooperVision has done, and what we're doing is we're going back to what got us here, the private eye care practitioner.
Okay.
We want to take it back to the beginning, and that's who got CooperVision to the place we're in now. The stronghold that we have. Steve and J&J, like I said, they're fighting it out at the top. So Cooper's going back to the eye care practitioner and saying, okay, what can we do for you? How do we make your business grow? How can we help you bring in more patients or bring in more presbyopic patients or whatever the case may be? So what CV+ is all about is we will look at your overall social media, online reputation, kind of your recall system. We'll look at everything that you're doing out in the grand scheme of the internet. And we will come up with an e-business report, a plan for you, so that you can then take this information and utilize it so that you can grow your business and grow your practice online reputation. Making sense so far?
Yeah, so this is something that's customized to my practice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What we do is we come up with a benchmark, and it's a benchmark of all other optometrists in the country. And so it's not a benchmark of the world, it's a benchmark of specifically the optometric industry, because obviously that's what we do.
Right.
And we'll come up with a benchmark number and a score. And that score will kind of show you where you are in the grand scheme of things and how to make it better. And so the ultimate goal of CV+ is to get you higher on search engine optimization, SEO. We want you to, instead of being on page 10, we want you to be on page 1 or 2. Hopefully on page 1. And we'll give you all sorts of recommendations as to what to do, but instead of just recommending what to do, we also show you how to do it. So that's the real key here with CooperVision's program. There's a lot of services out there right now. I'm sure you've been hit by this. I know a lot of your colleagues have been telling me that Penn has been coming at them with some information, and they've been going to meetings where everybody's talking about you got to get online with social media, you got to get online with your websites. This program will do that. It will help you look at the overall landscape of everything that's going on in social media, in your online reputation, in your website, and will not only show you, hey, this is what you're doing really well, here's what we recommend you can do better, and here's how. We give you all the information on how to do it.